Hope Channel, changing lives.
Hello and a very good evening to you all wherever you hear my voice from. This is Love at Home and you are watching us from Hope Channel Ghana. Thank you so much for always joining us on Love at Home. Today too is another interesting and a great day. I call it great because we are going to discuss one of the many issues concerning families. What am I talking about? I am talking about the responsible use of family gadgets or gadgets at home and technology at home. I am Efia Sewa Mansa. Let's go for a quick break. When we come back, I'll introduce you to my guest for the day and we start the discussion. Remember to join us on 0559680066 and on Facebook and on YouTube. Thank you. Be right back.
Hope Channel is my favorite Christian channel. The best thing about it is that you can have it everywhere you go. All you need to do is to download the Hope Channel app on your Play Store or Apple Store and get all the programs you want to watch.
Hello, you are welcome back from that short break. Thank you so much for not leaving us. This is Love at Home, and today we are discussing responsible family use of technological gadgets. You know, in modern times, technology is playing a very pivotal role. It is helping when we want to connect. It is also helping when we want to isolate. There are so many ways technology is helping. At home, the gadgets we use in preparing foods, in communication, and continuous bringing love or whatever we want to do. This and many things we want to discuss on today's show. On my far left, I have a very beautiful woman. She's a parent, and I think she's not new on Love at Home. She's a parent on Love at Home. Yes. So, Mrs. Selina Latte, good evening, and you are welcome.
Good evening. Thank you so much.
I hope your day was good.
By God's grace, I had a good day.
To God be the glory. You are welcome.
Thank you.
Now, to the only gentleman here, and a very nice one as such, Elder Andy Kona is also a parent and a social media activist. She's so active on social media. Elder, Mamawajo, I hope everything is well, your family.
Everyone is fine.
Greetings to your wives and your husband, wherever you are, and the family. Now, we've been talking about technology. The use of technology. In modern times, people are saying it is good, people are saying it is not. But technology is very big and broad. But today we want to discuss the gadgets we use at home. Be it telephone, be it the blender, the washing machines, any gadgets that we use. How helpful are they? Or how are they destroying our homes? This is what we want to discuss. Now, let me start from you, Auntie Selina. Has technology in any way influenced our family's communication?
Thank you so much for having me. Yes, it is, and it has, and it will forever be.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because for technology, it is a scientific knowledge for practically, purposely, and especially helping us in advancing in anything that we do.
Okay.
Technology has been with us even since creation, but as the day goes by, it increases, as the Bible says. And so really it has so much positive influence on us. Actually, technology is there for our good, for our own usage, to make things so easy and applicable. But as human beings as we are, we tend abuse, or the usage of it, we abuse it. But generally, technology is good.
Okay. But how has this helped us in our communication?
It has really helped us. For instance, as we are here, we are communicating. There are a lot of people, thousands and thousands from 1,000 miles away, listening to us.
That is right.
Unlike formally, whilst we are doing this, who will hear? No one, except the three of us. But due to technology and the usage of gadgets, people elsewhere are listening to us.
That is true. Elder, you want to add something to it?
Yes. As days go by, we learn science, and technology is a result of what science has brought. It discovers something. Science says we can do this better. Technology fills in that gap between science and human behavior and human living. You mentioned the blender. Before the blender, there was something. Before that something, there was something. And now, there is even the food processor.
Yeah.
Recently, I saw a blender-like gadget. My wife had it, and the palm fruit, after cooking it.
Yes.
What I know, what we were taught was you pound
What's
it.
to pound, though?
Yes. No, this one is like a blender. It makes a bit of sound before you finish. Before you realize it's finished.
Okay.
And then it would make the soup making process faster. So at least she can finish it and also rest. Or whoever is using it can finish and also rest. Technology has really helped us. But it's a two-edged sword. It fills in a gap. You understand? It takes off some task. And the same way in our human relations, it might also take off something as we discover, or more technology is introduced. That human bits or aspect might also lose something. It's something we should be ready for. Yeah.
This is something we must be ready for. Now, Auntie Selena, I'm still coming to you when it comes to communication. You gave an example that as we are sitting here, people are watching us from wherever they are. Apart from this, which other ways has the technology or these gadgets helped in communicating messages across?
Sure. Now, if I want to communicate with my daughter at school, I'll just pick a phone, either make a voice call or send a message or a voice message to her, and in a jiffy she'll reply. That is the usage of the gadgets that we are talking about. Now, because of the gadgets, we have Facebook, we have WhatsApp, we have YouTube, Uprint, and all other things. And so, in actual sense, communication, the gadget, the use of the gadgets and the technology has really helped us, and it is going to help us till the end of ages. And we are going to even have it easy, because formally, if you even want to make a call, you have to step out of your bounds, go to the communication center, make a call, and that one you have to do it quick, because there'll be someone who is also ready to do it. But now, at our own convenience, midnight, dawn, any time is convenient for communication because of the usage of the gadgets or the technology.
But do you see that this is helping? Because some parents are also deliberating on whether to take the phones out from the children because they think they are not managing them well. They don't see them at family gatherings. They don't see them when family are seated. I am here, meanwhile he's not there, and all that. What is your take on that?
Well, before I even come to that of the phones, smartphones and things, let me look at one aspect, or let's look at one aspect that is helping so much. You might not look there. A friend whose wife and child are in the United States. All right. Circumstances. Seeking greener pasture. The woman has to go there because she has the papers. And they're giving birth. All right. Newly married. They're giving birth, and then the baby has to go with the mom there because she was born there. Now let's take any of these video call apps.
Yeah.
Before those apps, the only thing the father can do is to call, to talk to the daughter. But today, you can call and see, and baby can see daddy. Okay? I believe it would enhance the parenting from the father's side better. Because he sees the daughter or the child every time. The daughter sees the... It is not like when those things were not there.
Yeah.
The daughter will be there, the wife will be there, they will be talking. But seeing would be once in a long while. That's a positive aspect.
That is true.
Now, everything that we do when it comes to family life should be deliberate. It should be deliberate.
Say it again.
Everything we do in terms of training in family life should be deliberate.
We should underline the word
deliberate.
Okay.
I keep saying this. If you see a very good girl or boy, a very good woman or a man, give credit to the parents, more especially the mother. This child is so well trained. That child was not left on her own or his own to be well trained. It was a deliberate plan by the parents to train that child well.
Okay.
With or without smartphones. And today that we have smartphones, technology, our being deliberate should be deliberate. We should be more deliberate this time.
Yeah.
Because the distractions that are coming from the phone is so much as compared to earlier when the phones were not there. So today parents need to sit up. Sometimes I ask these questions. This child at this age or her age, does she need a smartphone on her own? She has her own room. He has his own room. Does he need the phone at this age? So parents should even know at what age they should leave smartphones with their children. The fact that you are rich or you sell phones or you have phones doesn't mean all your children should have phones. You should be deliberate in training them up. They should understand why they should have those technology in their hands. If it's not gotten to the stage where he can understand, don't place this danger. It's like a knife. A knife in the kitchen is very useful in cutting garlic and onions and stuff. The knife in the hands of someone who is angry is a different thing.
It's a mass destruction.
Exactly. That is what this is.
Yeah.
So note, is it a time for me to place this in the hand of the child? At what age? If we are not even talking about age, let's look at his maturity, the depth at which he thinks.
Yeah.
It's maturity. Should he or she get this? Is it going to help or destroy? Can she create barriers, boundaries on her own or his own? How can I supervise what he or she looks at? These are things we have to be deliberate about. Parenting should be deliberate.
Yeah. This is really deep. Please say it again. Parenting is what?
Should be deliberate. It's a deliberate exercise. It's not like because you can give birth to a child, you're a parent. That alone doesn't qualify you to be a parent. You are a parent when your child starts growing, and then you see his behavior or her behavior, and others will testify whether you've been a good parent or not. It is others that will.
Okay, so you have shared some parenting styles and strategies. Auntie Selina, you want to share some strategies that will help us control some of these things?
Yes, like Eda just said, a parent, you are there to guide your children, especially we the mothers, as he said. The reason why he said that is that almost every time the children are with mothers. And so in as much as we love them, there's the need for us to, let me borrow this word, deliberately
Yes.
take good care as to when, where, why our children are supposed to go with these electrical gadgets or the phones, the smartphones that we are talking about. Because if we refuse to do that, we are going to reap chaff.
Hey.
Yes. It's because of this same social media and phones that a lot of young men and women use in insulting our elderly in the society. And look, a child who is not well trained, children who are not well trained are even picking up those things.
You mean those behaviors?
Yes. Church elders, pastors, young ones insult them unnecessarily, directly and indirectly. And so, in fact, there are a lot of things that are going on. For instance, where my last child went to for her junior school, when they were about to complete, some of them insulted teachers on social media.
Because they have completed.
They have completed and they have access to phones. And those children were called, their parents. All of us weren't happy, because imagine if it were to be your child doing this thing. Look at this TikTok. What is going on there? Insults here and there, naked dressing, unnecessary things going on, including with the Adventists doing it. And so, in as much as the gadgets are good, negatively, things are also going on wrong.
Okay, so you've mentioned the negative ones. Are there positive ones that we can learn,
Sure.
especially the TikTok issues? I'm
Yes.
sure people are learning
Yes.
some one or two traits
Yes,
from
the
there.
TikTok issue, and even generally, we are learning a lot. Some of us are learning how to cook some other continental dishes that we were not familiar with.
We're used to abum, now you're
Abum.
doing special cuisine.
Sure, special cuisines. What do you call it? Continental.
That is it.
How to prepare your own drink. Now you look on social media and you see how some drinks are being done. Hey, now you are not supposed to do. You are supposed to prepare your own with a food processor. In a minute or two, you are gone. Preparing your own cake, wedding cake, your own birthday cakes, party cakes. You can prepare special food on weekend just because of this same social media or the gadgets that we are talking about. And so, as I said earlier, they were there for our good. They are there for our good. But it is we ourselves who are abusing it.
Now, Elder, Auntie Selena just said that they are there for our good, but we are abusing it.
Sure.
How can we be deliberate and put in measures to make sure that we are making or we are using them wisely
Okay.
for our good?
I will start with, I'll start by mentioning in Genesis, God creating everything and giving us dominion over. You see, that's the line between people who are addicted to something and those who are not.
Okay.
God asked or gave us that authority to have dominion over virtually everything he created. You see, that's why man can conquer the sea. This wild sea. Man is able to make a vessel on it. It goes one side and comes. Man can conquer the moon, can travel up to the moon in space. Because he has given us dominion. Therefore, anything that has control over you is the opposite of what God has said.
Exactly.
And that becomes an addiction.
Okay.
When someone is addicted to something, it means it is the thing that is controlling him or her, not he controlling. God gave us the power to control, not to be controlled.
Yeah.
So that is one line we need to draw. As Madam mentioned, if I should open my phone, you'll be surprised a lot of videos I've downloaded from TikTok. threats. In fact, I thought I was good at something till I saw tutorial of very simple things. And I learned a lot from there. That is where parenting comes in. Today, everybody is doing virtually everything on social media. Now, it is for you to select where you go. Let me give TikTok as an example.
Okay.
Where you are fond of going, anytime you open there, it leads you to that place.
That is true.
It is that intelligent.
Yeah.
So you ask yourself, why is it that when I open it goes there? Because it has seen that that's where you like going.
Your interest is.
Therefore, that is where parents come in. You know, you can't be there to choose for your child every time. But be deliberate in your training. If we allow the fear of God as the basis, the fear of God, not the fear of mommy and daddy, but the fear of God, becomes the basis, and you keep hammering there to the child. You might not even refer to TikTok, but the child goes to TikTok, he knows what to watch and what not to watch.
That is true.
Madam, parenting is everything. Train up a child the way he should go. And when he grows,
Never departs.
if he departs from it, you would have done your part.
That is true.
But you see, once we give the basis is not with cane, it's not with shouting. It's not with always beating. No. You'll be surprised. Scientists say, when a child is in the tummy of the mommy, the child hears. And there are evidences to show that. A particular song was played, the father played a particular classical music, the child grew up and could easily identify that music and even played it on a keyboard. In our own small homes, we have evidences of songs we used to sing when a particular child, the mother was pregnant with. That child could relate to that song. He sings it like he knew the song already. So whilst they were in the womb, if they could hear, what about today? Don't say Osha. No. Let the child know it is wrong right from the beginning.
Allah, what you just said has taken my mind to some behaviors that I see recently with parents. When a child comes to church or in a public certain domain, they don't want the child to make noise or do some sort of distraction.
Sure.
So they will give the phone.
Not just church, man, let me not cut you, not just church, even at home.
You will hear like that throughout. So we do not know even where to give the phones to the children, to do what, how, or when at any given time.
Sure.
And that is a challenge. And so you tell the child, bring the phone, when we are done, you can come for it. No, you won't understand it. Because the mother sees it as a measure or a way to make the child.
Calming the child, yes.
So what can we do from here then? You are a parent. Talk to us.
Madam, it is better late than never.
Sure. Okay.
And so we need to. That I will keep quoting Elder, deliberate. Let the child cry, but let the child knows that this thing, the social media or the phone, need to be used as and when it is necessary. What you are saying, it is happening everywhere. I've been fighting with parents. Don't, my phone, I will not give it to you. Cry your head out. But I'll also let you know the reason for which you are not to be given the phone. That is one thing. Some of us, we don't just want to train our children. Anything that they do, we are happy with it. But remember, your child wouldn't stay with you forever. He or she will go to school. She'll go to church. She'll go for youth camp. And that is really causing a lot of parents now. Some of them, almost every month, they buy phones because the child will use the phone. Give it to me. I want it. I want to make a call. Then the child will treat the phone somewhere. And so we need to train our children and know when and where they are supposed to be given those gadgets.
Now, Elder, let's look at the issue of screen time and device dependencies.
Sure.
Talking about TVs, talking about the phones, anything. Sometimes the tablets.
Computers.
The computers, thank you very much. I think it is taking so much time. They take so much on these laptops, on these computers, they do not have time for anybody at all. When you are calling that child to come and do something, what do we do?
There is this sketch I saw on the social media. It's just a picture story. It's just a picture. By merely you see it,
it communicates.
It communicates.
That's nice.
And it was so intriguing. I believe people might have seen it. It was in US. Is it Thanksgiving? Is it a day that they go and see? And then they all said they wanted to see Grandpa and Grandma. So they organized and came from their various houses, met at Grandpa's. So Grandpa and Grandma had prepared something for them. And they were all sitting down in the big hall, and everybody was looking at the phone.
Coming to see Grandpa and Grandma, you are still watching your phone.
Those who had tablets were looking on their tablets, those who had phones were looking at their phones, and Grandma was sitting with Grandpa alone.
So it is just the body presence.
So you see, comes back to parenting as we start, where it leads to. You see, the result of your parenting is first test when the child goes into the public. It goes out in public. That's why you see your parenting. If you are the type who gives the phone to the child to keep quiet, you will be forced to give it to the child at church.
Yes.
And when you give it to the child, it opens to temple run. It opens to play game. And this that you don't want this child to do, the game, it makes noise. And the noise is nice because the noise tells you which level is coming.
It's coming.
So what have you achieved? It is not for your benefit. Training up the child is not for your benefit, it's for the benefit of that child. So you do everything possible. If you don't train him well at home, he will disgrace you in public.
Exactly.
I've been to public places where children had to throw themselves to the floor and then dirty themselves because mommy wouldn't do what they say they wanted to do. You don't dare die in my house. You understand? Because you know what we are doing that for you, what we are doing for you in that house will take you out. So we grow to, sometimes we the parents facilitate these things.
Sure.
For him to, give it to him and let him keep quiet to stop disturbing us. We are watching our series. Then you give. You give. What are you doing? You are pulling the child's attention at this age to this. When do you expect him to stop? When you want him to stop? No.
So now, Elder, I want us to look at the negative side of all this.
Sure.
Where does it lead us to? Could it be, is it possible that one day you'll be at home, your children will not mind you because they are so busy on their phones? You are crying for help. Somebody come. But nobody is minding you.
It is happening now.
Because of the dependency of our phones, excluding human beings, not attaching emotions to human beings, but rather to the phones or to the gadgets and what have you that we use at home.
That is where
I
we are
want us to
getting
look
to.
at.
If you have not gotten there already, you see, one aspect, one thing that takes that human touch from us is this gadget. Although it gives us all the positive things we might have mentioned, but the human aspect it takes away. Because you see, I can make more friends here than physically.
Exactly.
I can make friends all over the world. All I need to do is hi on any platform. And if you're on Telegram, where, what do you call it? Platforms come.
Yes.
They can just come. Type your favorite team. It comes. You can go there and make friends with anyone.
The Snapchats,
After all, exactly.
everywhere.
You understand? So that's one day, or I mentioned the grandpa scenario.
Yes.
We sit and then we forget we are human beings.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, no matter what this one does, the physical touch is so important. You can play football. You can be so good on the internet playing football. But football is a contact game.
It's on the field.
It can never be the same. It can never be the same. It should be on the field. Somebody has to push somebody. Somebody has to complain. You understand? That is football. But we play it here today. But when you play it here, after playing for something, I feel for the football itself. And when it comes to the negativity, and people cutting. The kind of things that goes on here, you have no idea. I don't think parents know things that go on here as much. That is the reason why they give their phones to children.
Olga,
and
this
everything.
is what we want to know.
Ma,
Tell us some.
there are apps that you have not installed, but they find their ways to your phones, and they pop up. Especially those who like giving the phone to small children. Whilst playing, an app just comes up, almost naked woman.
Yeah.
For a small boy. Then so this app, this game that is playing, what has that got to do with that app that is, the advert that is coming?
I'm not cutting it off. There was this boy, a teenager. He raped a 5-year-old, and he was asked, why did he do that? Why did he see all these things? And he was like, oh, I learned that from the social media on the phone. And so,
did you say 5 years?
The person that he raped,
Okay.
but the guy was a teenager, about 14.
Yeah.
And he was asked, are you sure? He said yes. Then a man gave his phone to him. Where you went, go there. Immediately he went there. And the man had the shockest thing in his life. Because of those things that he was seeing on phone, he was able to rape a 5-year-old. And Tante Ifya, let me say this thing to you. Parents, we are the main cause of all these things. If a parent is able to spend almost a day on phone, what do you expect of your child? The child thinks, oh, it is good because my mommy is there, my father is also there. And so we need to be very, very careful as parents. We should know when and where and how we use some of these things, because some of the parents, they are doing it in extreme. When I was coming, I called a parent. He always complains of headache. And I was telling him, I mentioned his name. It was because of this thing. That is why you are having the headache.
Emissions and
yes,
all that.
you don't
eyes.
sleep.
Yes.
You don't have ample time to sleep.
This month.
Yes, you don't have ample time to sleep. You are always watching movie. This particular person always watching movies. From this he goes here, from this he goes here, even at work. And so he has developed that headache. So when I was talking, Ifya, what you are telling me is true. I have to desist from all these things. This afternoon, someone came to me, and the person was also complaining the same thing. When he went for a checkup, he was told that it's because he is having, he has what do you call it? He doesn't have enough time to sleep. That is why he is having that problem. And parents, deliberately, we are using the phones as if they are everything in life.
We must be deliberate in training our children. You know something? Some people are of the view that women who are using the home processors are lazy. Some men are saying that. I don't know if you believe in that. But let's go for a quick break. When we come back, my guest will help us to discuss this and many more. We are still discussing responsible family use of the gadgets at home. Remember to send in your contributions to 0559680066. Join us on Facebook and YouTube or any of our social media handles. We'll be right back. Thank you. Stay tuned.
Hello guys, I welcome you all to Gospel 101 TV show. My name is Selassie Evelyn, and I'm thrilled to be your guide on this uplifting journey into the heart of gospel music and inspiration.
Eradie, Chesa Wobemo.
What you made ye sui, yet de ekuko down. Omajidi ewa jom tuomu ena ebaso. Get ready for a television show that will challenge, uplift, and remind you of the incredible power of God. Yeshawo Bose, yet the life-changing stories.
We are not going to marry when we go to heaven. It is very true. But if we are not careful, our body will cry.
Good music videos. So tell a friend to tell another friend, say, Gospel 101 Jumedieno has come. It is not just a show, it is going to be an experience.
Gospel 101, showing this and every Wednesday at 6 p.m. right here on Hope TV.
Are you ready to witness the future of entrepreneurship?
I've been selling the bacteria for about 5 years now.
If I flush my toilet, this bacteria can help me to have the water go recycle and be reusable again.
Some of my products are here. There's Zaraka.
We collect waste plastics and recycle them using petroleum refining process into a product like petrol, diesel, and gas.
This is why I also have my.
We want to really ask and delve deeper.
So the platform is creating. How is he doing it?
Because we are pitching. And pitching indicates that there is competition.
Tune in every Wednesday at 7 p.m. and Sunday at 6 p.m. only on Hope Channel Ghana.
Hello, and thank you so much for not leaving the dial. This is Love at Home, and this is Hope Channel Ghana. We are discussing responsible use of technological gadgets in the family. We've talked at length. We've talked about the usage of the phones, the usage of the tablets, the computers, how we should control them. But more importantly, we can't finish this discussion when we do not discuss the use of these technological gadgets that we use at home. That helps us in preparing our meals, or even the hoovers that we use to work and all that. Mami Selina, a gentleman told me that he will never marry a woman who uses a blender or food processor or washing machine, because it shows that that woman is lazy. What is your take on that?
I'm sorry, that isn't true.
You will not let me finish.
That isn't true, because I use such gadgets at home. Those gadgets enhances our work. It gives us ample time to, some of us Christians do the work of the Lord. And then it also gives us time when we are done with all those tasks to rest. You know, by using those gadgets, you can do 3 or 4 things at a time. Whilst frying your fish, blending your groundnuts, maybe you may be baking your cake at the same time. All is due to this technological gadgets that we are talking about. Whilst doing that, at the same time, I can have even my AirPod on. I'll be having a meeting, cooking my rice on the rice boiler. There will be clothes in the washing machine. At the same time, doing about 3 or 4 times, 4 things at a time. And it also gives me ample time to rest. And so whoever is saying by using those things makes one lazy, I've even heard that when you use gas in preparing soup or stew, it doesn't become so palatable as it's supposed to be. And if you use blender, all those things are.
Mami Selina, you person will can't say. You design your money here, obi use so and no interest what you for.
Never interest what you for that. enentina sa niamani nyina eba no said ye be ya ebe boyen, especially when it comes to home appliances and I say kitchen dear na yen emba no ye bre papa. And those things are there just to help us, to enhance us. Said ye be ya ye be to me yes and niamani nyina wie. It sounds say wo the same oba no ukunu kwa adwuma nti wo wie abehwe se oba aye ne homework anase oba adware anase sei wo yesa sa nyama no wo ho a eboa wo ho asa sa adwuma no po koso no you can take care of your child who is having the homework what I say and so said ye ka say we use blender e de ye aduane we use gas cooker anase electric cooker e de ye aduane ebi mu kra say rice boiler no we use at the end of the day emono enye de sani amani nyina eye force se woni medwane ya unimu je na se woni mu ya distance rather helps you.
So these things are there to enhance,
exactly,
and to help you.
Yes.
All right, Elder, what is your take on this? It is your colleague, man. It's a man like you who said that. And he's actually serious with it.
I'm laughing throughout.
Oh.
Because, you see, maybe the person needs to face that reality. Maybe he's not married. Maybe when he gets married. And then he sees the kind of stress women go through. And these gadgets...
Is it that is because of the stress?
Oh, come on. If we can do something to beat the stress, why do we enter the stress? If there's something to let it beat it.
Okay.
You understand? If I had my own way, when I wake up in the morning, my wife will sit, I will sit, then we'll be looking at each other's face. If nothing else, we'll just be looking at each other's face. You understand? But there are things to do, there are children to take care of, there are this to do that. So these things, helping you do them, there's nothing wrong with that. All right? Maybe if someone is saying that, maybe he needs to take a trip to a home and see how things are. Or maybe the person needs to sit down, look at all those things we need to do at home.
But what benefit do you derive when you use these things at home?
It helps reduce stress.
Okay.
It helps life easy. In fact, making it easy doesn't mean make you lazy. Yes. But it beats down your stress. All right. I'm using stress and I'm using the woman as an example. Mm-hmm. Right from marriage, from wedding, you come to the house. Mm-hmm. The woman starts giving birth. Mm-hmm. Then there is no stopping in doing anything. Mm-hmm. You understand? So there are things to help. Why should that be wrong?
Yes.
It's only that we make sure that human feeling, as we are mentioning the gadgets, that what cuts us off the human being, we have to be very careful.
Exactly.
The personal one-on-one touch. Yes. So this one will help so that you even get more time for each other.
Yes. So say it again, getting more time for each other.
Each other.
What do you mean? Expatiate.
You see, there is an irony even here. We are married for companionship.
Okay.
We have to be there for each other. Yeah. You understand? We should find more time to sit together. So if things can help us do it faster, whatever work we have to do faster so we can sit together, that is beautiful. Unfortunately, this is also removing that time. That's what the irony is. Unfortunately, the phone is rather doing more harm. Because after using all this technology, you come and then we are free, then you start taking
your phone.
That's where the irony starts.
Now, Mami Selina, what role do you believe these things... so now how can we minimize the negative effects of these things you're talking about?
For what we just talked about, there's nothing like negative effect.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because it's rather enhances. Mm-hmm. Then, if you want to be less busy because of these gadgets, then like Elder said, we should minimize the use of the social media too. Mm-hmm. Because we want to be less busy just to keep ourselves going, having me, you having me. You see? But upon all this, having time, the time is for the phone, then it means what we are doing by making things less is more or less narrowed down to zero. You see? There are homes where they have even dishwashers.
Yes.
They have dishwashers. You have hoovers, like you said, and other gadgets that can even remove the cobwebs. Where human being cannot go, those gadgets can go there. And so if these things are being used, it doesn't mean people are lazy. It means technologically we are growing and we are helping ourselves. Our mothers, when you meet a mother of about 40 and you might think she is about 90, all because of some of
stress, so much stress of work.
And so for we to reduce those stress, we need to at least apply some of these gadgets if we have them.
Now, Elder, let's look at the generational differences.
Sure.
I'm sure the technology I am used today is not the same technology my mother knew.
No.
And so they have different perceptions about them. How do we incorporate them? How do we let them appreciate and understand so that if I have an in-law who thinks that if you are using a rice boiler or rice boiler, it means you are quadruple, and so gradually some of these things should be weighing down. How do we communicate such things to them?
That issues with our mothers-in-law and those things. I knew you brought us an example for generational.
Yeah, generational gap.
You know, some of those things act as signs of today. Signs of today.
Okay.
All right, because those times and this time, they are different.
Okay.
All right. Gone are the days when I used to go for my dad's, in fact, gramophone. He had the 40, you know, the player.
I'm sure children of today will not know.
They don't know what it is. They don't even know CDs.
Oh.
Little ones of today don't know CDs.
They only know pen drives.
They know pen drives. And they just slot it at the back of the TV, and then after the TV, there's even no gadget there. Maybe it's a decoder. That's it. That's all.
Or satellite.
That is all.
Yeah.
And they take the TV. They want to have internet on the TV. You understand? So, as a man of the house, most times it's the man's mother that might want to. It's for you to explain to your mom that this is my house, and in my house this is how we do it, so nicely and peacefully. So at least your wife will also have some peace of mind. I don't think that should be an issue.
And then also, before you be told you are a quadruple, it's a situation whereby your mother-in-law will come. You'll be using the rice boiler, the washing machine, the gas cooker or electric cooker. Then you tell the mother-in-law that, oh, if her things are dirty, she should wash it. Or if she wants to cook, she should try to put up the coal pot and all that. For that, there's no way the woman will not tell you you are what? A lazy person. Okay. And so what is good for the goats is good for the gander. Sure. And so if you are doing that, when your mother-in-law comes, even if she doesn't know how to do it, or if your mother comes and if she doesn't know how to do it, make sure you wash her things in the washing machine for her. Okay. For her also to relax and see that, oh, this is enjoyable.
Okay, so now let's look at your advice. How would you give, what advice would you give to families looking to leverage technology and so being strict? Is the word strict?
Deliberate.
Thank you. Thank you.
We don't want you strict.
Thank you.
Deliberate.
Thank you. Thank you. How do we manage this?
Okay.
I'm looking at the leveraging. We need to enjoy that. We need to enjoy that. Where is the balance?
Moderation is something we've always taught throughout the years as a church, Adventist church, and even in most homes, moderation. If you do something beyond moderation, what you are doing is you are trying too hard on that thing, which could easily lead to addiction if something is done every time. So at home, let's create a time for zero technology.
Sure. Say it again.
A time for zero technology.
So
I've tried that in my house and it works.
It works? Okay, so tell us more.
We all meet at the hall and TV is off.
No TV?
No TV.
No phone?
There is not somebody who is restricting you. But we sit and start chatting and we don't see the need to put on TV. That TV in the room is mine. It's for my wife and I. Anyone who wants to put it on, you ask permission from the two of us, or any of us. You understand? So you don't put on TV in the house without the permission of an adult. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
I do.
So we decide, not forcing you, but at this time, we don't need TV on. We need to also sit and chat. So we can create times like that.
So you're
deliberate.
You're giving us strategies.
That is it.
Okay, so I want more of that.
Now, when you do that, the children don't rely on TV. Daddy doesn't rely on TV. Without TV, there can be life. If the lights should go off for 2 weeks, we can still stay in this house and survive. TV will not be on, but we'll still survive. Okay, so we are practicing that. It's not, you see, when something like that is done, you can see it is not like somebody doesn't like it. Daddy is not watching it. Daddy is not watching it, you are not watching it.
This reminds me of a story I read where a girl was raped because they didn't have lights. Okay. I think they're using prepaid, and the parents didn't have to buy, they didn't have the money to top up or to buy. Yeah. So the girl said was going to watch TV from a friend's house because he couldn't control herself for not watching TV, and she was raped.
Unfortunate. One other thing we can do is we can create phone-free areas in the house.
Okay, so you've given us
one strategy about TV. TV free.
Now you're talking about
phone-free areas.
Okay.
For example, dining area, no one takes phone.
All right.
Because dining area is for either food or maybe homework.
Yeah.
So that you can't use your phone. You can use only phone when you need to do some research. And that one you do on daddy's phone or mommy's phone.
Okay.
Understand? If you have your own phone, there should be some supervision up to a certain age.
Yeah.
So, phone-free areas in the house. Dining area, number one. Toilet. Number two. I keep telling young people, if signs of addiction, we are not talking about phone addiction, but let me chip it this in. Signs that you are addicted to your phone is number one, when you are eating, you can't put your phone down.
Oh.
Number two, you are in the toilet, you can't put your phone down. So you can create digital free areas in terms of phone in the house. You are not going to enforce it with King. You do that in love. It's a deliberate plan.
Thank you. Point two. Continue.
I've given two.
Okay. Yes, Auntie Selena. Okay.
I was seeing Yambre Edimaye, because nobody was born with any electrical gadgets or any of these technological gadgets. Yeah, we are free as we are growing, and I have and we should have that in mind. If we are able to do that, you go to the remotest area where those things are not there to go and do the work of the Lord, and you'll be able to do that.
Yeah.
I think so some of these things that you come home, who call toilets, who they call, who be didi, who they are didi.
Even when you're bathing, you want it to be closed.
Yes, those things are the things which are giving us be more because you'll be fighting with a certain sickness. At the end of the day, but you always
compounding it.
Yes, because of just the same thing. And so these gadgets, no, I was saying to honum. And because of the same training that we are giving to our children, we should go gas free, rice boiler free, washing machine free, and some of those things for our children to know, say, and then you know your pet.
Good.
And then you know your pet. A time is coming because of power of alone. You need to do what? Do the washing manually.
Correct.
You know, a parent called some time ago, where the parent said that the child has kept her things for 1 month.
And it's not been washed.
It's not been washed.
Because the washing machine
is fault. So I started asking the woman questions. You mean your girl can't use her
When the
hands
child
to
was
wash?
born, there was washing machine. So he had not been deliberately trained.
He decided to put
wash
the machine
Sometimes
off.
Put it off. Good. Come, bring your socks. Let's have socks.
Yes.
Let's have handkerchiefs. These are small things. Now wash it. You do it gradually. It comes to singlet and then pants All right, we do it. It comes to school uniform. Sometimes let that thing stay and let them do it. Mom, I was born bred, everything, school, everything in Accra. My national service, I did it in Upper West Region. I didn't know that area so many years ago. I didn't know.
Wow.
You understand? Nobody, I wouldn't have believed anyone who would tell me that I would go that far.
Yes.
The furthest I know was, I didn't even know Kumasi at that time. I don't go to Kumasi before.
Yeah.
I went to Upper West Region. And Upper West was not even Wa capital.
Village.
We were not even at Tumu, which was the district. Tumu's village. How is Tumu and how is the village? I mean, those times. Today, I believe it should be better.
Today, I'm sure it should
You
be
understand?
better.
So, if pathfinding had not prepared me to live with anything in nature, I would have had a serious time there. I would have when I went there, the water that was served, you would think it's Milo.
Yes.
Okay. I was sitting there and there were tears coming from my eyes.
You want
So
to go to your mommy?
it was just, I'm only boy, born only one among a lot of girls.
I'll go to
You want to
my
kill
mommy.
me? You understand? But I told myself, something I'd learned in pathfinding.
Yes.
Once human beings live here, I can live here. Simple.
Exactly.
What the water they drink, I'll drink. I will not die. Once they are not there, I'm not dying. We did that. When we went there, that first day I was crying. When we were living there, the children went to teach were crying.
Oh.
We should be deliberate. Do it deliberately. And the child will grow with it. If you leave the child to grow by himself, social media will train your child for you.
Exactly.
Gadgets will train your child for you. In the exam hall, he wants this. If he doesn't get it, he can't write his exam. Because he's so reliant on this.
There's something called IA or something.
Yeah.
No, please continue. You wanted to say something.
So we need to stay away sometime from some of these things, especially we the parents. Let's make time for ourselves so that our children will know that life is not all about these gadgets and all that.
Okay. Okay. So let's wind up in your last concluding.
So let me add a little to end everything, my part. You see, we are, our children are copies of us.
Yeah.
It is when you give birth and say your child looks like you, become happy. It's not just the physical look, even the way you do things. So once we parents are busy with our phones every time, every moment, you can't even drop your phone. Indirectly, we are training our children to also keep the phone on them when they get it. If you don't give them, they'll get it elsewhere. If you give them, they'll always be at it because they see mommy and daddy always at it. If they see mommy or daddy or mommy and daddy as people who can avoid TV, who can avoid phones and nothing happens to them, when you tell them to avoid the phone, it's not the preaching that we preach at home that the children listen to. They look at what we do. Children look at what we do. The way we talk, the tone of our voices, how high we raise our voice, how fast we speak, how slow we speak. That's how our children think. So they are a copy of us. So for them to stay clear of this, let us be clean. And let us not let our lives rely on this digital world. And the children will be easier for them to do. After all, they look around and mommy is doing. Mommy can stay without the phone. Therefore, she can also stay. Or he can stay. Daddy can stay without the phone. Daddy can put his phone down. Today I've not seen daddy with phone. And it's normal. But if every time parents are on phone, social media, they hear, they pick. That is what the children will also copy. You'll be surprised things they can do with the phone. But you can do many things. They will do better than you because their generation here, they are more inquisitive than us, our generation.
Do a lot.
So we should check the way we also use the digital world in our homes. The children are copying.
Our children?
Well, we should be deliberate. If you've not taken anything from today's show, the word is deliberate. Sheda. Decide and plan how you want to control these gadgets at home. They are for our own good. They are there to help us, to enhance our jobs, to make sure that we get time for the family, we get time for our spouses, to get time for other jobs. But hey, you need to put in some controls. This is what we've been discussing today. Now, with the children and then the phone, He says we should create TV free sometimes. Let them know that without it, there is still life.
Yeah.
Sometimes in certain areas, we should create phone free, especially at the dining tables, the washing, the bathrooms, the washrooms. Let them know that without these places, we can still exist without using phones. They are there to help us. But if we don't use them well, it will go against us. I am glad we have discussed this. Continue this discussion in your various homes and share with us. Same time next week, we come into your homes again on the same discussions and other topics. Thank you for not leaving us. God bless you and good night. Bye-bye.